Okay, I'm finally getting around to answering BradThunder's 5 questions. Better late than never. I'm going to be taking some rather huge liberties with these questions, and I am going to skip one of them, more for brevity's sake than anything else, because I'm all about being brief. Number 1, assuming you believe in Him, or even if you don't, what one question would you like to ask God? Okay, I have to preface this by saying that I do not believe in God. But okay, so even if I don't, I got to ask a question. Here's one of my liberties to start with. I'm going to ask 2 questions. Number 1, how did you manage to get so many subscribers? And number 2, don't you think you're being just a little bit harsh on your non-subscribers? I mean, personally, I've got, oh goodness, tons of non-subscribers. And although I feel harshly about some of my non-subscribers, it's nowhere near 100%. I think it's just a little bit harsh being so down on 100% of your non-subscribers. Number 2, given that a truth serum has already been administered, what one question would you like to ask President George W. Bush? Okay, I'm going to ask George W. Bush 2 questions, and I'm going to also take further liberties, and I'm going to answer both of those questions as I feel George W. Bush would answer those 2 questions were he under the influence of truth serum. Also, in doing this, I'm going to be using totally biased conjecture and rank speculation, and this will be my opinion only. Number 1, the number 1 question I would ask him: if you had to do it again, would you still invade Iraq? To this, in my opinion, under the influence of truth serum, George Bush would answer, of course I would. Iraq's not been a disaster at all. I've accomplished my primary goals there, one of which was the death of Saddam Hussein. I now have my revenge. The other goal being the personal enrichment of both myself and my cronies. This is something which only increases each day we stay the course. Iraq is the gift which just keeps on giving. Okay, the second question I would ask George W. Bush is, how does it feel to be responsible for the deaths of many, many, many times more people than were killed in the attacks on the World Trade Center on 9/11? To which George Bush, under the influence of truth serum, I feel would respond. Okay, moving on to question 3. Given that it could understand us and reply in kind, what animal would you like to ask the question, and what would that question be? Okay, again, I'll take a few liberties on this. Personally, well, I guess a lot of people feel that one of the more compelling books ever written was The Diary of Anne Frank. And I wouldn't like to ask any one question, any one specific animal exactly, but what would be so cool would be if you could take every extinct animal out there, and from way back till present time, and have them have one of the last surviving members of that species of animal, whatever it may be, write a book, write a diary along the line, exactly as close as animally possible, along the lines of The Diary of Anne Frank. And I think that would just be so fascinating. And the animals which I feel would have fairly interesting diaries would be the passenger pigeon, the dodo bird, the woolly mammoth, and maybe most especially the last of the large dinosaurs. I would imagine, of course I don't know really for certain, after the large ones died out, I think the smaller ones went on for a good many years after that. So I feel that the last of the large ones maybe would tell us well, what killed the dinosaurs, basically. Meteorite or whatever, maybe. Maybe they could put that in their diary. But anyhow, I think that would just be so cool if each extinct species, if one of the more articulate members of the last of that species could write a book along the lines of the Diary of Anne Frank, that would just be great. Number 5. I'm going to skip number 4. Number 5. What question, if any, would you like to ask me? I thought about this one a good while. I didn't really want to ask anything too personal, but the only thing really I could come up with, other than something just totally silly, like what did you have for breakfast, is do you carry a cell phone? One of the reasons I ask this is I personally don't carry a cell phone. It's just something, I don't think I'll ever carry a cell phone. I just, it'll have to be a have-to occasion, I guess. If I ever started carrying I would really have to have a specific reason for it. Sometimes, you just like to get away from it all, let's say, and you don't want to be disturbed or whatever. And if you got a cell phone in your pocket, you really can't do that to any large degree. So yeah, do you? And I've always sensed that maybe you're the same way along those lines as I am. So I will make it a little bit of a two-parter because a lot of people pretty much are required almost to carry one. So do you carry a cell phone? And if you do carry a cell phone, are there often many times that you don't carry your cell phone even though it would be convenient to do so? Okay, I think I kept on a little bit briefer than I thought I could there, so that's it. Sorry I'm a little bit late. Over and out.